Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Allison and I make cleaning and lifestyle videos, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any new videos. Today I'm doing a product review. I'm going to be reviewing this Bosch Silence Plus 50 dBA dishwasher. Now, I did purchase this with my own money. My other dishwasher started leaking and having problems. It was really old. We had someone come out and look at it and they said, this is so old, just replace it. Don't even bother putting money into repairing it. And I kind of knew that was probably coming because I think it was more than 10 years old probably. It was very, just kind of at the last leg of its life anyways. So we did decide to go ahead and purchase a new dishwasher. So this is the one that we selected. My husband did a lot of research into dishwashers before we purchased this particular model, and he really liked this brand based on the reviews, and we went to a lot of different stores and asked people what they thought was the best option, and they gave us a lot of information and things that were really helpful, so I'm hoping to pass kind of those tips on to you. Now, I've been using this for probably a month now. We've had it for a little while. I wanted to wait until I had a chance to really use it to show you, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what the features are. So far, I do really like this. I've been pretty happy with the selection. It has a lot of features that my old one just didn't have, I think because it was an older model, and you might have these features on your dishwasher, but they're new to me, so that was pretty exciting. I'm going to bring you just a little closer so you can see a little bit better here. So a few things that it has. Now it's got what's called Silence Plus, which I think is the model name, and as far as sound goes, this is a pretty quiet dishwasher. It does make some sound, but overall, I don't really notice when it's running, so it's really quiet, and I really do like that it doesn't make a lot of noise, because I really appreciate that. Just as someone who has a child that sleeps a lot, you know, and can get woken up by noises, it's really nice to have something that's not really noisy. Now, it does have a lot of the typical settings that you'd have. It has one thing this has that my other one did not have is it has an on and off button, which I really have been enjoying. I like that I can shut it off when I'm not using it and it's not using electricity. I just hit the off button and I forget about it and I don't have to worry about it. My other one just had an on off if it was running, and then it was just on all the time. So I think that's a really cool feature. I don't know if all dishwashers just have that, but this one does have that, so I think that is really a cool feature. Now, as far as wash settings, it has what's, I think, pretty typical here. It's got a heavy, auto, and normal setting. It also has delicate, a rinse, and a speed 60, which I really think that is a really cool feature, but I haven't really used it. But if you're in a hurry, you could potentially wash your dishes in 60 minutes, which is nice. It also does have a nice thing on it that it shows you how much time it takes for a cycle to run, which my other one did not have. This one takes 2 hours and 20 minutes. This dishwasher runs for 2 hours and 20 minutes for each cycle, and it tells you how much time is left on a cycle, which I think is really neat to see. You can actually watch it count down as it's running. It does also have a delay and a sanitize button, which I think are pretty standard. And then just obviously there's the start button. We did go with the stainless steel finish because that is what I like. Now, it's just a really tiny thing that I dislike is that this top part is actually not stainless steel, it's some kind of plastic. And then down below is stainless steel, and they look just a little different. I think just aesthetically I would have preferred this to be black, but that's just my personal preference. It looks just a little weird to me to have two different shades of gray next to each other, but I think I'm just being overly picky about that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And I am going to go ahead and open it up so you can see the inside. Now, this is what the inside looks like. It does have some dirty dishes in it. And I do think that this is a little bit smaller than my other model on the inside. I have a little less room than I'm used to having, so I do have to kind of adjust things. But overall, it's pretty standard. Now, we did go with a stainless steel interior. The people that sold us this basically said that you can do plastic or stainless steel, but plastic takes a lot longer to dry. So if you're not sure which one is better, stainless steel costs a little more on the interior, but he'll have a faster dry time for your dishes if you go stainless steel. So that is what we did as for our interior. Now one thing I really like is the sort of soap dispenser. You put your little soap or your little packet in here, and then you just slide it down and lock it in place. But it's kind of weird, but when it's done running, it actually opens back up on its own, and I just think that's pretty cool. It's got some sort of little spring in it, and I really like that. And then you also have a little rinse dispenser next to it, so that is where your soap and rinse aid go here as well. And you can see it's just a standard, you know, shiny door. This is what the racks look like. You see there's still some dishes in here. Now there is one thing I don't like, and that is sort of the design on these little containers that go into this dishwasher. They have little hooks that hook on to the back of the dishwasher, but they just don't stay in very well and they slide around. So that is one thing that I don't really like about this model, is that sometimes these tip over or fall off even though they're hooked onto the edge. So even though, you know, it's nice to have things you can pull in and out, I think I would have rather had them just permanently, I would have really had them more permanent instead of kind of pull in and out, just because I like them not to tip over or knock around when they're washing. But it's a pretty small problem. Now you can see there is a filter in the back. I have not cleaned the filter out yet, but it is back there. It looks like it should be pretty easy to open and clean. And another thing I don't like about it, sometimes, as you can see, sometimes the little things do come off the rack. So that's a little annoyance for me. When you're pulling it, if you pull too hard, it'll just kind of knock itself loose. But it doesn't happen too often. But they do slide out pretty well, or glide kind of easily. And this is what the top rack looks like here. This lifts up, which is nice. And you have two sort of separate things here that lift up as well. So that is sort of the overall look of the dishwasher. Now I will put the price over here of how much this dishwasher cost. It was a little bit expensive. It wasn't one of the cheaper models. We really wanted something we thought was going to last a long time and not break 2 years down the road. So we decided to invest in a little pricier model, just so we weren't going to have to spend as much on repairs, hopefully. Now, you never know, and if I have a lot of problems, I will put some kind of update, but, you know, so far so good. It's been running really well, and this brand generally just has good reviews, so if you look online, you can kind of get your own feel for what you think of it. But other than the issue with the little rack sliding out and things tipping over, I've been really happy with it. It's a really good dishwasher. It gets them very clean. I like the ease of use, and I also like a lot of the little features that they have on this model. So I would, you know, generally recommend this one to someone else if they were looking into dishwashers. I think it's a really good model. I think it hopefully feels like it's going to last a long time and be really effective for us. I'm a lot happier with this than I was with my old one. It does a better job. It just has features that I like. I like how quiet it is. I like the little setting buttons. I like, you know, a lot of the options I didn't have before with this model. So I am happy with it overall. I think I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 review just in general. And I think the design's pretty good. And one other thing I didn't mention too is the handle. Some you have a little lever that you have to release. This does not have this. You just pull straight out. There's a place you can put your hand underneath here and you just pull, but there's no kind of release. So that's kind of nice that you don't have to kind of bother with your hands. You can just reach in and pull it out if you need to. So that makes life a little bit easier. So overall, that is my review. So I would recommend this product. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. I hope my video was helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And anyways, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you all have a beautiful day today. Bye!